Welcome to the Spooky Scary Show. We are two friends in two different states who discuss all things spooky, scary, and just downright strange. We read new stories every week. If you would like to suggest a topic or submit a paranormal story, email us at spookyscaryshow@gmail.com and follow us on Instagram and Facebook for spooky facts and updates.
Hello, Ghosties and Pinky.
Hello. How's it going?
Oh man, we both were just sicker than dogs during this holiday season. It was rough.
Always. I'm always sick for Thanksgiving or Christmas.
Uh-huh.
I haven't gotten sick in a long time though, so I'll take it, I guess. It wasn't too bad.
That's good.
I had to cook dinner for my family sick, so hopefully I didn't infect anybody.
Probably got everybody sick. Merry Christmas!
I'm sorry. Jonathan deep fried a turkey, and that was terrifying, but
yeah,
nobody had to go to the emergency room, so
Yay!
Success.
Deep fried turkey is hella good, especially, did he use peanut oil?
Yeah. You know how much peanut oil costs? That shit is expensive. We spent $40 on oil.
And then
it's
you have
oh my god.
all the leftover oil, and then you're like, oh, what am I supposed to do with this? Yikes.
We're gonna try to save it, but it's so cold outside that it's coagulated in the pan, so we have to bring it inside and let it get to room temperature.
Yum. Oh.
Our fryer has a little valve, so we can just unscrew it and drain it back into the thing.
Oh, nice. That's cool.
Yeah.
I had a gnarly head cold, and originally I was just going to stay home because my family did Thanksgiving the weekend before, so we just got it done and over with. So my original plan was just to stay home and just drink some wine and just, have the house to myself. But then I got this head cold, and I couldn't stay at home, I couldn't just, drink. So my brother and I, we went on an adventure up to the Tonto National Forest. We drove up along the Mogollon Rim. We left, I'd probably say around 11, and I didn't get home until 8. That's how long we were driving. Yeah, it was really cool, but on the way back, the weather got really bad. Fog got in, and it was raining pretty good. And cars, they're like, well, I don't know how to drive. And my brother in his truck was just wah, just going through. And there's this drunk driver on the road. Completely scared me crapless because he was in front of us. And when you're driving on the highway and it'll have 2 lanes on the opposite side, meant for passing slow traffic. And then on our lane, it was 1 lane. So the drunk driver just floated over to the other lane with the oncoming traffic. But,
oh God.
I know, I screamed, they could hear me. I was like, you better get over, you idiot, you're gonna get hit. And they noticed, and they just slowly floated on back over, and then over the hill, cars came, and I was like, we're about to witness some fools, die. But
that's scary.
I don't know. Yeah, we didn't pass them. We stayed behind them. They were just kind of, stupid. Stupid.
Get away from that shit.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And they're just going to a gas station. We're like, really? A gas station? But probably for more beer. I know.
I hate it.
I know, thanks. I hate it.
I didn't go anywhere. I did all my Black Friday shopping, all my Christmas shopping is done, and I sat on my ass all day, and it was fantastic.
Ooh, did you get anything cool for Black Friday?
I just got Christmas gifts for everybody.
No. That's the smart way how to do it, and that's what you're supposed to do, but I just kind of treated myself, and I got, a new shirt, and some pants, and a new hair straightener, and false eyelashes. But,
fun.
No, I've had the same straightener since back in high school. I think you'll remember this thing. It's
yeah, I have the exact same one, the wet to straight.
And it still works.
I've had it for 15 years.
Seriously, but I'm gonna give this one to to Charlie so he can make wax or whatever, and I got my new one. It's so much smoother, and it doesn't, like, pull.
That's nice.
Yeah. It was only like $25. I was like, hey,
Very nice, very nice.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It is the end of the month, so what does that mean, Dolly?
That means it is...
Haunted headlines.
my most favorite part of the month.
Great jingle, I love it.
Thanks. I should be, like, in marketing or something.
Oh, yeah. Faux show. Okay, my first article is bag of weed removed from man's nose after 18 years.
I have so many questions.
Doctors said the man thought he had ingested the weed, but it actually had been in his nose for nearly 2 decades.
God.
He didn't know until doctors in Australia took it out. According to a case report in the British Medical Journal, CNN reports the man got the drugs from his girlfriend when she visited him in prison. He put the pot in his nose to get it past the guards, but wasn't ever able to get it back out, according to CNN.
Jesus.
So just leave it? Like, if I stick something up my nose, like, it's coming out.
Yeah, and you'd think you'd be able to, like, fill, like, the plastic or the cellophane, or, makes my eyes water.
What in the actual fuck?
Or, like, if you get sick with a head cold, like, you should be able to, like, feel that, right?
I don't know. I would imagine so. So the doctor said he found out what was really going on inside his nose after he went to get treated for what he thought was a different problem. The report said the man was referred to an ear, nose, and throat specialist after a CT scan he was getting for a headache showed the spot in his nose where the rhinolith had developed. The medical report showed the man had problems with his nose like chronic sinus infections and symptoms of nasal obstruction. While he thought he had just ingested the weed, over the next 18 years it actually turned into a rhinolith. Rhinoliths are stones that form around foreign objects in people's nasal cavity. After the rhinolith was taken out, doctors found a rubber capsule containing degenerate vegetable/plant matter in it, according to the report. CNN said after the man was questioned about it, he remembered putting weed in his nose when he was serving time.
Oh, shit.
Researchers said they think this is the first reported case of a prison-acquired marijuana-based rhinolith because most people smuggle drugs through their mouths and they are later released through their gastrointestinal tract. CNN reported that 3 months after the surgery, the man's nasal problems were completely gone.
Okay, so it was like a little rubber thing. And, like, how much weed can you smuggle? I have so many questions.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yuck.
You just so happen just to forget that you know, shove some stuff up there.
Like, no. I would never forget. That would be my obsession forever.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Ugh.
Like, I'm gonna die.
I guess if you're in prison and don't want to get in trouble, depending on, like, how long he was in prison for.
True.
You can't just say, hey, I lost some weed in my nose. Can you help me?
Yeah, that's true. Mm-hmm. Alrighty. So, my article, it's different. It's older. It originally happened in 1897, but was recently brought back to the light of day during, like, Halloween times. So, this one is, the time an apparition helped convict a murderer. Mm-hmm. So this happened in West Virginia in 1897. On the morning of January 23rd, 1897, a blacksmith who called himself Edward Trout Shoe showed up at a woman's house in Greenbrier County, West Virginia, to ask a favor. Could her 11-year-old son go to Shoe's farm, collect some eggs, and then ask Shoe's wife, Zona, if she needed anything from town? The boy did as requested, but when he knocked on the door of the Shoe house, no one answered. He opened and unlocked the door and found Zona sprawled out on the floor. She was dead. By the time the local doctor, who was also the coroner, arrived, Trout Shoe had moved his wife's body to their bed and changed her clothes to a high-necked gown and scarf. Suspicious?
Ugh.
Her husband held her head, sobbing and showing signs of distress anytime the coroner attempted to examine the body, the coroner later reported. After a cursory examination, the doctor attributed her cause of death to the everlasting faint. Whatever the fluff that means, you just faint and die, I guess?
I think that might be like tuberculosis or something.
Oh shit.
It's like an old... They didn't know what it was at the time, I think, maybe. I'm not positive.
Oh, shit. Okay. Later, the doctor changed that to childbirth, a somewhat odd claim since the Shoes had only been married for 3 months and only had known each other for a brief time before. And that was it. You know, it's like, what? She wasn't pregnant. She was put in a casket and taken to her mother's home for a funeral, during which Trout Shoe remained inconsolable, jealousy preventing anyone from getting near his wife's body, right? Suspicious. A month after the burial, the town began to talk. Her mother, Mary Jane Heaster, had been telling people that her daughter's ghost was visiting her at night. The ghost said that she had been murdered. Eventually, Heaster went to the prosecutor. She said that over a period of 4 nights, her daughter's ghost appeared before her as she lay in bed. The ghost told her Trout Shoe had grown enraged that Zona didn't serve meat for dinner, grabbed her by the neck, squeezing until it broke between the first and second vertebrae.
That's a very specific ghost. Goddamn.
Very specific. And 4 nights in a row. Hey, Mom, I just want to let you know. He fucking killed me. So the prosecutor asked the coroner what he noticed about Zona's neck during his examination. And he said something to the effect of, well, now that you mention it, the husband wouldn't let me examine her neck. You don't suppose that might be suspicious?
No. You don't say.
I freaking know. I was like, even during the funeral, like, don't get near my wife's body. Yeah. Stupid. They exhumed the body and summoned 2 more doctors. As Zona's husband, Trout, was brought in to observe, as they examined her neck, one of the doctors turned to him and, according to Lyle, said, well, Trout, we have found your wife's neck to have been broken. Trout was charged with murder.
Ooh.
While he awaited trial, people in town discovered a few things. First, Edward Trout Shoe was actually Erasmus Trout Shoe, a blacksmith from a neighboring country. And when he had been married before, a first wife was granted a divorce after enduring severe physical abuse, and a second wife had suddenly died only after 8 months of marriage? Suspicious.
Ugh.
A trial, there wasn't much way of hard evidence to present. Zona's neck was broken and there were hand marks, sure, and he did have a way of bragging, and I quote, they will not be able to prove I did it, end quote. But that wasn't exactly beyond reasonable doubt material. Then the defense called Heaster to the stand, the mom. The defense attorney asked her to describe her visits from the so-called ghost, which she did. It was probably an effort to make her look like a fool, but Heaster stuck to her guns. And this is actually from a local newspaper, and they called it a very remarkable testimony, published this full transcript.
That's crazy. The ghost testimony is admissible evidence.
I know.
I mean,
It's back in the insane asylum days, so, I mean...
And if you can sway a jury,
I don't know. You can only get divorced if there was, like, a reason to be divorced, which is kind of fluffed up. Ugh. Mm-hmm. The attorney asked, Miss Heaster, are you positively sure that these visits are not for dreams? Heaster, yes, sir, it was not a dream. I don't dream when I'm wide awake, to be sure, and I know I saw her right there with me. Attorney, are you not considerably superstitious? Heaster, no, sir, I'm not. I was never that way before and am not now. Attorney, do you believe in scriptures? Heaster, yes, sir, I have no reason to not believe in them. Attorney, and do you believe the scriptures contain the words of God and his Son? Heaster, yes, sir, I do. Don't you believe it? Attorney, now, I would like it if I could to get you to say that these were for dreams and not for visions or appearances of your daughter in flesh and blood. Heaster, I'm not going to say that, for I am not going to lie. I know, she could have been committed to an insane asylum, but she's like, oh, hell no, he killed my daughter. Later in the trial, when Trout Shoe took the stand, he rambled for an entire afternoon and made a unfavorable impression, according to Lyle. The jury deliberated a little more than an hour before finding him guilty. He was sentenced to life, which ended up only being 3 years. He died in prison in 1900 from an unknown illness.
Wow. Maybe a ghost. Maybe she killed him.
I know! Like, she haunted him and was like, bitch, I'm gonna kill you. So, the more famous, because it was like 1800s, whatever, 1897, did an apparition really cross over from the spirit world to solve a murder? Lyle, who has done more research on the case than anyone, is skeptical. She theorizes that Heaster was already suspicious of her daughter's husband before she was killed, and by pretending to receive the news directly from Zona, she could appeal to the superstitions of her mountaineer neighbors and get a lot of public attention. That's right, folks. In 1897, a ghost may have been more compelling to a jury than a mother's intuition.
That's kind of sad.
That's very sad, but hey, I mean, she did what she had to do, and honey, she got him.
I mean, even if, like, say you didn't believe in ghosts, like, this is what's on her mind. She's suspicious, and she's going to sleep with this in her head. She just lost her daughter. Maybe she is dreaming these things, and maybe it did compel her to go and mention it, you know? I don't know. Or, like the article said, she was just really smart and used it to get people to pay attention.
Yeah. I believe that our dreams are definitely more of like a gateway to our higher selves and to like our lost loved ones and everything. So, I mean, she claims to be awake when they happen and she wasn't dreaming or whatever. I mean, I can definitely see both sides. I mean, you gotta play to the people as a whammon back in 1800s just to get them to freaking listen to you. A whammon! So, I don't know, it worked though, so good for her. But, I mean, he died only 3 years later. What the fluff? Not fair.
That's crazy. My next story is called Drinkers Terrorized by Sex-Mad Ghost at a Haunted 300-Year-Old Brit Pub.
What the fuck? Oh my god.
Malevolent and frisky ghosts have been terrorizing visitors to a 300-year-old lochside pub in Scotland, staff claim. Self-opening doors, sinister laughter, mysterious bruises, moving objects, orbs, and unexplained sexual bumping in the night have all plagued those brave enough to stay at the Drovers Inn at the northern tip of Loch Lomond.
Sexual bumping.
That's what I went to, sexual bump.
Oh, God.
The testimonies of those who have stayed and worked at the 18th century inn, one of the oldest pubs in Scotland, are the stuff of local legend. The premises were long used by Highland cattle merchant who used to drive their cattle down the side of loch to the markets in the lowlands. Much of the decor and furniture remain the same, and, if the tales are to be believed, its old inhabitants have never really left, with guests in one room regularly claiming to be disturbed and even pinched in the night.
Oh my God. Please no. Please no touchy.
No touchy. I snorted. The ghostly bumping sounds are so loud, visitors have even mistaken them for people having sex.
Oh, shit. Okay.
It's a scary place at night, says Yvonne McStravick, 38, the venue's social media manager. Christopher Higgins saw orbs and then a child started laughing in his ear. The Scot is convinced the place is rife with paranormal activity. Strangely, I slept really soundly, but in the morning I woke up and I was covered in bruises. But funniest story has to be when a customer complained about hearing guests in a room next door getting amorous for several hours.
Oh my God. What is going on in the afterlife of this area? Damn,
Good time,
son.
it sounds like it.
Like, if I die, I know where I'm going.
Right. They even suggested that there were more than 2 people in the room, she recalled. Reception were very confused when they checked the room plan, as there had been no other guests even staying in that side of the building, so we think it must have been the ghost getting some lovin'. Christopher Higgins visited the Drover in 2016 with his dad and is convinced the place is full of paranormal activity, especially room 6 where strange happenings are rife. He said, one of the lassies was staying in room 6, so I went to my chalet and got my big camera, took some photographs of the orbs going around. Room 6 is said to be the haunted room, according to local legend. She asked, show us what you have got, and then just on my left-hand side I saw a child laughing, and I know for a fact there were no children in the bar that night. I said, okay, we have a ghost here. As soon as I opened the door, I froze, and I couldn't move any further because it was cold.
Show us what you got.
Ooh, they're like prostitute
Rick and Morty.
ghosts.
Ew!
Colette Davis Hoskisson was also in room 6 20 years ago, and she is convinced it is haunted by a poltergeist.
Nope.
She said, I stayed in that room before they refurbished the rooms, and we heard noises all night. Our door kept opening on its own, even after we locked the latch down.
No, thank
Colette
you.
said she also heard banging, so she knocked on the next door to ask them to stop, and no one was in there. It freaked me out. I can tell you, I don't freak out that easy. That's the same room. I've been back loads of times for meals, but not to stay. On another occasion, a woman reported her partner woke up in the middle of the night to tell her off for moving loose change on his bedside table. She recalled, I said, well, I'm obviously not, as I'm laying next to you. Our dog was sat staring at the bedside cabinet. It was a strange experience.
Ew. Ew, that's weird. Prostitutes counting the money. Like, okay.
Another visitor is convinced room 6 is haunted by a child ghost. She said, during the night, the whole of my right side went really, really cold. When we read into it, apparently the little girl who drowned in the lot was brought up to room 6, and guests sometimes feel the same cold feeling, and it's the girl getting into bed with you.
Aww. She just wants some cuddles.
It's kind of sad.
That is sad.
Current bar manager Allie Campbell, 21, has said he often hears noises and banging at the end of the night when everyone else has gone to bed. He is convinced the spirit is that of old George, a regular to the Drovers, whose ashes used to live on the shelf in the bar but were recently stolen. On several occasions he has felt a presence beside him when in the bar. He said sometimes items mysteriously crashed on the floor from the reception desk. He is convinced it is the ghost of old George keeping tabs on his favorite pub. The Drover Inn is widely regarded to be one of the most haunted hotels in the UK, and if these spooky tales are to be believed, it deserves that title. I will leave a link in the description for you guys to read more about the history of the Drover Inn, so you can check that out if you want to.
That's crazy.
Yeah, insane.
I mean, ghosties need some loving too, you know what I'm saying, ghosties? But 10 out of 10, I don't know. Would not want to stay there because they sound a little too active for my taste.
Yeah, no thanks.
I think me and you are kind of like on the same wavelength with the articles that we pulled, because my next one is, man gets really stoned after drinking McDonald's sweet tea.
Oh god, I'd be so pissed.
I would, oh my gosh, yeah, okay, once I read the article, you're gonna be like, this guy's full of shit, but if somebody stoned me without me knowing,
Stoned you.
Stoned me.
If somebody stoned me against my knowledge,
I would die.
me too. I get so paranoid.
Oh, it's not even fun.
No. Okay, go on.
Yeah, so this article was posted November 7th. The victim ordered his tea with extra lemon, which he now believes was code for marijuana, since he found 3 bags of weed in his cup.
In his tea?
Extra lemon.
Lemon.
A South Carolina man who went to McDonald's for a sweet tea says he received a little extra herbal substance on the side. The Island Packet reports Parrish Brown went to a McDonald's on Hilton Head Island and asked for a sweet tea with light ice and extra lemon. Brown now believes extra lemon was code for marijuana. Since he found, 3 bags of weed in his cup, he says he only realized it once he was high as a kite, as he says. Brown says he'd never had marijuana, so he didn't recognize the taste. He says he paid regular price for items. So, Beaufort County Sheriff's Office spokesman, Major Bob Bromage, says an investigation is ongoing. He didn't specify which McDonald's Brown had gone to, and McDonald's didn't immediately respond to a request for a comment.
What? This guy just had, like, a diabetic episode or something. Like, what?
Yeah.
That's not even how that works. Can you even get high like that?
Nope. No. You have to extract the how do you say that word?
Cannabinoids?
Yes.
I mean, possibly if it was, like, hot water, but I don't think so.
Light ice. I don't know. I think this guy's full of crap, and he just wants to do, like, a lawsuit or something.
So strange. Okay. There's that. My next one is called Fireball in the Sky. This happened in Portland, Oregon on November 21st, so not that long ago.
I'm excited.
The Polk County Sheriff's Office is looking into reports of a large fireball falling to the earth. They said it was visible in southwest Polk County. The Sheriff's Office said the fireball was first reported as a fiery plane crash. Polk County Sheriff's Office said they have used all available aviation tracking systems and worked with the FAA and the U.S. Air Force, and no planes have been lost. Authorities, along with the U.S. Forest Service and a local timber company, worked to locate a possible landing location and find out exactly what the fireball is. Life Flight was called to fly over and search the rugged remote area where the witness believed the fireball may have landed. They didn't find anything. Civil Air Patrol ran a training mission in the area Friday during the daylight hours and helped look for signs in the rough terrain. The Sheriff's Office scaled back their efforts to locate the fireball on Friday when aviation specialists ruled out the possibility of a plane crash. While they can confidently say they don't believe it was a plane, the Sheriff's Office can't say exactly what it was and if it landed anywhere. they go on to say that they're not sure exactly where it's at, and it's such a big area. So the guy that saw it, he was Richard Romano. He was working on his tractor Thursday evening when it started to get cold. He was about to head inside, but he wanted to grab his mail first. He walked over to his mailbox and looked up to see a plane in the sky. He grabbed his mail and started to head back towards his shed when he says he heard an explosion. I started to walk away, made it to about here. I heard a big boom, and I looked up, and all I could see was a big fireball in the sky going down. So I walk over there looking at it, watching it kind of falling out of the sky, and I thought, I better take a picture because nobody's going to believe me.
Oh, wow.
He called it in about 4:50 p.m. as a plane crash. He thinks the fireball landed in a rugged rural area past a ridgeline you could see from his property, perhaps 40 miles away. So his pictures are like the only evidence that they have of that something happened. If you click on the link, I think you can see the picture. It kind of looks like it could be a meteor, possibly, but would you hear it? I think. Like, he heard it.
That's true.
He heard it before it hit the ground?
Yeah.
That's strange.
Yeah, that's true. Because what a plane sounds like. I mean, unless it's like space trash, that could be making
I guess
noise,
if it came into the atmosphere, like on fire, you might. I don't know. I don't know how that works.
Yeah.
I'll put a link to the article in the description for you guys so you can go watch the video and see it.
Wow. That's crazy. Oh, I hope it wasn't a plane, because then that means somebody got hurt or might be dead.
Or it's aliens.
Aliens! Learn how to fly your UFO, people. Come on. Alrighty, so mine, I hope Pinky hasn't already read this, but I picked it in honor of Pinky. Cat placed in solitary confinement for repeatedly breaking feline friends out of shelter.
Oh, damn.
This was on November 13th. So a mischievous cat named Quilty has earned internet fame for repeatedly breaking himself out of his enclosure at a Texas animal shelter. But he doesn't just escape. He brings all of his feline friends along with him.
Oh, buddy.
I know. The Friends for Life Animal Shelter of Houston posted about its little Houdini on Facebook last month. And I quote, "Quilty will not be contained. He has no shame." The organization also wrote, "Quilty loves to let cats out of their senior room repeatedly, several times a day." The shelter wrote that his prison breaks became so frequent that the staff had to do something about it, and Quilty proofed the cat room by banishing the feline in an attempt to temper the mass escapes.
Oh, Quilty.
I know. So, Friends for Life Animal Rescue and Adoption Organization, Houston, posted this on Facebook about a month ago. "Quilty will not be contained. He has no shame. Quilty loves to let the cats out of their senior room repeatedly, several times a day. We have since Quilty proofed the cat room while he took a brief hiatus in the lobby. His roommates missed him while he was banished to the lobby. They enjoyed their nighttime escapades around the shelter. The staff, however, did not miss the morning cat wrangling, so we'll just have to agree to disagree there." Apparently, this is not a new skill he learned here at the shelter. He used to let his dog sibling in and out of the house of his old home. If someone out there is looking for a clever cat that gets along with dogs but does not get along with closed doors, we have someone they really need to come meet. Please, come meet him and take him home. Please.
He's just driving everybody nuts. Oh, I love him so much.
The post and attached photos went viral, garnering over 16,000 shares and more than 11,000 comments. Quilty became so loved that the shelter continued to update followers about the cat's antics and repeated escape attempts. And I quote, "Update. Quilty's review with the whole parole board was denied, so he released himself of his own recognizance today. He felt that confinement had nothing more to offer him. He has been returned to solitary."
Oh, Quilty.
The shelter even began selling merchandise, including shirts branded with hashtag #FreeQuilty, and started his own Instagram account. However, unlike many escapees, Quilty's story appears to be heading towards a happy ending. The shelter updated the cat's online profile Tuesday, explaining that the pet is on a 1-week trial period with a potential adopter who appeared to be wild about him. "He hasn't shown any slickness at all yet. He is the most loving and affectionate cat I have ever met," his potential fur parent told the shelter. "It seems the sly little cat may have escaped his way to a forever home after all."
No.
Oh, my heart!
That's so sweet.
I can't, little Quilty Boo. I love you.
I wonder what kind of doors he was opening. Are they like the pull-down handle kind? Or are they like the round?
Yeah, so it looks like if you scroll up to like the little Twitter post, they had to tie a little rope around it and then tuck it to like a broom. So if he jumps up to hit the door, it won't like push open.
Oh. His face is like airplane ears in the one picture, and then it's like, "Ah, let me out!" in the next.
I see you.
Bitches.
Don't ignore me. Let me free.
It's so funny. Oh, baby. Okay, this is my last one. This was so funny. We totally were on the same wavelength, like ghosts, weed, and pets.
Animals.
Like, our stories are the same. I swear we didn't talk about this at all before this, and I've been collecting stories all month, so.
That's awesome.
This one's Dog Found with Turkey. This was published yesterday.
Oh my god. Wheelie.
Anyone missing their frozen turkey? Dog caught with whole Thanksgiving fowl in middle of road.
Oh my god. Bad potato.
A photo posted on Tuesday captured a dog with a whole raw Thanksgiving turkey in the middle of the road in Arkansas. The dog, which appeared to be a brown mixed breed, stood next to the holiday bird, looking straight in the camera. Jenny Jones was driving from Round Mountain, but stopped as soon as she saw him with the turkey in Conway. Her friend Kathy Rick recounted. Jones couldn't help but to snap the picture. Jenny stopped as soon as she saw it. She couldn't stop laughing. It was hilarious, Rick said. Another friend shared that she saw it and laughed all the way to work. Rick then posted the now viral photo on her Facebook page. Anyone missing their frozen turkey? If so, this Conway dog proudly had it in the Round Mountain area, she wrote. Round Mountain is an area in Conway. He had stopped in the road and was proudly displaying his find, Rick said. He picked it up and moved on after the photo was taken. The photo has brought a tremendous amount of joy and laughter to many, she said. For that, we thank Jenny, as well as the dog and his turkey.
Oh my god. Bad little potato. He's like a little chocolate lab, just kind of looking at the camera like, what? What are you gonna do? This is my turkey.
Yeah. So cute. I hope that he finds his home. Actually, nobody cares that he's, like, missing. All right.
Oh, they probably know he's missing. He's probably like, I can't go back. I'm gonna get my little booty beat.
Imagine that your dog and your Thanksgiving turkey are missing.
Oh, God. Oh. It looks like a big turkey, too. It's probably like a 40-pounder.
Oh, my God.
I don't know. My last one, we weren't really on the same page with this one, but I saw it all over YouTube, so I just had to share it. It's Visibly Damp. Papa John's founder says he ate 40 pizzas in 30 days in a viral interview.
What the fuck?
Dude, this guy, I'm sorry, but you're losing your freaking marbles. John Schneider harshly criticized what's become of the company he founded in 1984, and people couldn't help but notice he seemed a little sweaty. Papa John's founder, John Schneider, is apparently eating a lot of pizza these days. Schneider said in an interview broadcast Monday with Kentucky TV station WDRB that the quality of food at Papa John's chain has drastically shifted for the worst since he was ousted as CEO in July of 2018. And this is a quote from him. I've had over 40 pizzas in the last 30 days, and it's not the same pizza.
Well, it's obviously not that bad if you've had that much pizza.
I know.
But,
if you keep eating it, it must be pretty good. I don't know. It's not the same product. It just doesn't taste as good. Okay, then why are you eating 40? The way they're making the pizza is just not fundamental to what makes a Papa John's pizza. If you scroll down, you can see how sweaty he looks.
Ew.
Which, I mean, I think it's just, like, bad choice of his hair, and I don't know, maybe he was nervous, but...
Good lighting, and yeah.
Yeah. So, Schneider is 58 years old and probably should not be eating that many pizzas. Founded Papa John's in 1984. He resigned as board chairman in July 2018 amid reports that he used a racial slur in a conference call earlier that year. Ooh. He quit as CEO the previous December after an outcry over his criticism of NFL players kneeling during the national anthem to protest injustice. I remember that. Ooh, yeah, the news lost their mind.
What don't they lose their mind over?
I know, it's true. I mean, obviously somebody eating 40 pizzas in 30 days.
Jesus.
Schneider acknowledged in the interview that he used the slur, but said he was quoting someone else to demonstrate his hatred of racism.
Right.
He called... He called the conference call a farce. And this is what he said, and I quote, I just didn't know it would happen from people on the inside doing this. I thought it would come from the outside.
The pizza fucking up?
Him being racist?
Oh. All right.
I know. I mean, if you made one comment that went viral, I can only imagine, like, what else was kind of going on and was said behind the scenes that made people get sick of you and want to go to the news.
Right.
Like, it had to have been bad, right?
I would imagine. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about it. I've never even heard of this.
Oh.
Shows how much I care about Papa John's.
Yeah, I know. I can't even eat their food anyway, so I was like, whatever. So then he called out Papa John's executives by name. So Steve Ritchie, Olivia Kirtley, the board of directors all use the black community and race as a way to steal the company. He said they stole the company and now they've destroyed the company.
Oh.
Yeah. He claimed Kirkley, a Papa John's board member and director Mark Shapiro, should be in jail because what they've done is just wrong and they've hurt a lot of people. The day of reckoning will come, he warned, and the record will be straight. Stay tuned, he added. And then I pulled a few tweets from the article. So someone tweeted, Papa John looks like the guy in a zombie movie that gets bit and he tries to hide it from the rest of the group.
Oh my god. His eyes are all like bloodshot and he's wearing this red shirt, so he's got like a pink tint to his skin.
Uh-huh. His hair is super gelled and greasy looking.
Oh.
Ugh. Man said he ate 40 pizzas in 30 days. Papa John's sweat is 63% pepperoni at this point. This is somebody else's post. I've eaten 40 pizzas in 30 days, you bastard. You think you know pizza? You merely adopted pizza. I was born into it. I bathe in marinara. I brush my teeth in garlic sauce. I got my nipples surgically replaced with pepperonis. You think you know pizza?
Oh, what the fuck?
And then this is that meme where it's like nobody says anything, so nobody... Papa John with grease sweats and tripping off of 40 pizza in 30 days. Link to the article.
For real, though.
You either die making pizza or live long enough to eat 40 pizzas in 30 days. And then this is the Joker meme when he's talking to the therapist. So, interviewer, Papa John, why don't you just set the record straight right now? Papa John, you wouldn't get it. That's the Joker meme.
I love it. The internet is such a harsh and hilarious place.
I know. I love memes.
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 That was good.
Man, that was a good one. I love haunted headlines. They're so fun.
It is fun.
What do you ghosties think about it? Do you like them? Do you want us to cover specific topics? Is there anything you would like to see less of? Feel free to let us know. And as always, we will scare you later in the next episode.
Bye-bye.
Bye. That wraps up the Spooky Scary Show. If you've enjoyed this podcast, click that like or follow button. We are available on Spotify, iTunes, and all major podcast streaming services. Spooky Scary Show is an independent podcast with big dreams. So if you would like to show your support, check out our Patreon page at patreon.com/Spooky Scary Show. Also, join in on the conversation. Follow us on Instagram at Spooky Scary Show for science and spooky facts. Scare you later.